Alright, in today's video we're going to be talking about another card show we just did. Hi, my name is Josh. I run Monster Mod Studio with my wife Nicole. We're a small online Pokemon card business as well as we do some card vending. Alright, so we went to a show, of course, this last Sunday, and that would have been March 22nd. So I usually try and do these videos like right after the event, but a little bit late this week. It happens. So normally we do shows around the Iowa area, but we've just been noticing that we're seeing a lot of the same crowd, which is great. Repeat customers is always good, but it's also good to branch out. So we went east this time and we headed into Illinois for our card show. So this would be the second time we've done this particular card show, and just kind of talking with the event coordinator, he ran into some issues in the last show. Basically the venue was kind of too dark. He didn't like the layout that he did. And so, I mean, like a good event coordinator, he fixed those things. He changed the layout, made it flow and not a lot more nicely for vendors and for like attendees. And then he bought lighting. It's just at an old like VWF hall, and he bought lighting to like, because it was just too dark. So people were complaining, not just vendors, but actual attendees as well were complaining it was just too dark. So he bought a bunch of lighting, and yeah, it worked. So good on him. Definitely appreciate him for, taking not mean criticism, I guess, but seeing issues and then fixing them. So definitely good. And I mean, as long as he keeps doing events and as long as he'll keep having us, I mean, we'll just keep going back. But yeah, I mean, so we're a little bit closer to Chicago, so that kind of brings in some of that Chicago money, which is always nice. And I mean, definitely a very well attended show. I thought I was busy the whole time. It's a nice 6-hour show. At the end, it always peters out. So, like, I probably could have packed up early. I don't like doing that. I like staying the whole time because I've done plenty of shows where I have been one of the few vendors left because I stay the whole time. I don't pack up early, and you just snag in a couple of those last little card deals. So, definitely good practice, I guess, that we've adopted, and I mean, just been working out for us. So yeah, I mean, definitely we came in with a good amount of sealed singles. We have a bunch of merch now as well. So we've expanded like our product offerings like quite robustly. I mean, we're not like a crazy huge store, but we definitely have a good amount of stuff, some figurines, some fun stuff from China, the Chinese booster boxes, our binders and our case. So we had a good amount of high value singles as well. So again, nothing crazy. We're not bringing in like $1,000 cards or anything like that, but definitely, in the, $100 plus, we have several of those. So it's just good on us expanding. So for only being our 4th month in, I think we're not doing too bad. So yeah, we had, just good activity, a couple of big deals that were done. So people just looking to get out of some cards, so we were able to move on those. And one deal in particular, like, picked up the Lucario SAR from Mega and just a bunch of other just nicely highly valued stuff. So was able to pick up some of those. What's crazy is I was in the middle of doing a trade. Since 151, we all know, went parabolic and has now kind of like come back down, but it's sort of plateaued. So the floor definitely went up on 151. But for now, it's been kind of hovering where it's at. Obviously, I haven't checked since the weekend what it's been doing. But yeah, so, people who are still master setting 151 are now kind of getting a little bit itchy on, they don't know what to do. Is the price going to go back up? Is it going to go back down? Yeah, and that's always the gamble. I think in general, it'll go back up. But I think the floor went up on 151 for sure. So lots of interest in, the singles we got for those. So I had a guy doing a trade, pulling out a bunch of big stuff. He pulled out the Venusaur, and just while I was waiting on him, another guy comes up. He's looking to sell. If I could have afforded it, I would have bought everything he had. But picked out some of the ones that we don't like see a lot, or I know like would be pretty liquid. Surprisingly, that Lucario SAR, I can never keep. I don't get it in a lot. But every time I do, it almost immediately disappears, which is wild. So I was able to get that. A couple of other like pretty good ones. I think like some of the Mega Attack rares, I'm a big fan of those. So we got the Gengar and the Dragonite, I think. And then he had a couple other singles from Ascended Heroes that we picked up. And people are already master setting that, which is crazy. But cool, man. It'll be a project for sure to master set Ascended Heroes. So, yeah. And I get done. I haven't even counted out this guy's money yet to buy these cards. And the guy that was doing the trade for the Venusaur and then some other smaller ARs, he wanted the Lucario immediately. So I literally bought it and immediately, he wanted to trade into it. So, and we did a trade there and picked up some, just some more ARs I know that are going to move. And everybody happy there. Picked up, I think, 2 Squirtles from Stellar Crown. 2 of them. It was crazy. So that means in my case, for the first time ever, I had the Charmander from Obsidian Flames, the promo with the Pidgeys, the Bulbasaur from Stellar Crown on the windowsill with the Pidgeys, and then the Squirtle in the little pool with the Pidgeys from Stellar Crown. So for my first time ever, I had all 3 of those starters together in my case. And the Squirtle didn't last the weekend, so he made it like a couple hours and he was gone. I didn't know this. Last I had checked, the Squirtle was like $80. I didn't even know he was up to these over $100 now. Crazy. But yeah, I got 2 of those in this weekend, and one of them left. That's crazy. Yeah. So I had another guy come up, and he's a little bit older, and he's just master setting everything. And you can tell this guy, he knows like the Pokemon, and he knows the whatever, but you can tell he's in it for the game of the deals. So I don't think he played Pokemon. I mean, he's definitely older, so I don't think he plays Pokemon, but I think he just knows that the economy of Pokemon is really strong and active, and you can tell he likes that. He likes the game of the trade and the numbers and the haggling and we had a bunch of stuff he wanted. He's master setting like basically everything, he said, and so he needed a bunch of full art trainers, and we always love picking those up, especially the SARs. So he picked up a bunch of those. I don't even remember. He's picked up so much stuff. So he wants to trade into stuff. He had the Zapdos from 151 in a PSA 10. I had to pass on that because I thought it'd be like $300, but it's like $5. Then he had a Machamp V in a CGC 9. I'm like, ooh, I'll take this guy because I know that it was an old CGC 9, and that Machamp is legit. So it's the one where he's like carrying stuff. I forget where he's from, but it's the blue collar Machamp. So I was able to get that, and he just did cash on top, mental math, just like he beat me typing it into the calculator. He mental math the whole thing. His trade, his percentage, taking off for the Machamp V at 80%, and then he did the mental math, boom, and he beat me to it. So that was pretty fun. And he just slapped down the 214 and like shook my hand and walked off. Yeah, super fun. Those deals are always fun. You don't get too many of those, but when you do, just get somebody who just knows numbers, who knows the deal, who just good times. So we managed to sell one of our EV bundles. So if anybody's seen those big boxes and stuff from China that have a bunch of Chinese fat packs, it's got some of the Evolution promos, the binders, the sleeves, all this stuff, these big collection boxes. So we're able to get those and import those. I haven't put them up on the website because I imagine shipping those is a nightmare. So we've just been bringing them to shows and managed to sell the Jolteon one, which is pretty cool. Lots and lots of interest in them. Anybody's just oh, I've never seen these. What is it? Oh, well, here you go. So with our figurines, we've learned that we need a model. So we have to rip a box and take one of the figurines out and put it out so that we can showcase these things. And I forgot the one we had already ripped to showcase them. And you can definitely, an accidental experiment, but you can definitely tell that slows down sales on figurines if you don't have them kind of out where people can see them, touch them, kind of thing. So yeah, definitely killed sales on those, but it is what it is. Selling some, for vending, we got one of those 4-tier shelf things that I can break down super easily, and we've been using that for the last couple shows. And it's weird because it feels, because this, I mean, it's from like Home Depot. This is like a cheap garage thing that you stick in there. This isn't supposed to be like a vending whatever, but it's weird when you put this thing up. It makes you feel more official that you have a shelf because everybody else has a shelf. So now we have a shelf too. And yeah, we just throw like the surplus booster boxes. We'll throw on like the second tier. On the top tier, we put those EV bundles because the boxes are so huge. So we put those up there, and then they're like at a really good height to like for people to see. Booster boxes are on the second tier so people can see like the line of booster boxes we got. I do still keep them on the table, and that's where the price is, but then the surplus, like the overstock, I get on that second tier. Third tier is a good spot to like, because it's underneath the table. I can put the case down there, so when I need to refresh like the display case, or if I'm taking in buys and trades, I stick them down there. So that way, number one, I keep them separated for my math later when I do my bookkeeping, but then, you know, I don't just have them stacked up somewhere random on the table. They're in the actual like our little like top loader case where we use to like move stuff around. So shelf's been working out super nicely, and it's fun because then I have them for like the booster boxes on the second tier. I have them like lined up, and then I just know how many I got left visually very quickly. And then, you know, in Pokemon, when we rip, we're very superstitious. So I just tell them like, this is how many boxes I got, like pick a number. So it's like, if I got 4 boxes left, 1 through 4, and they pick a number and I give them that box. And so just more fun engagement. You know, the boxes went pretty good. Again, the gem packs, man, like they go really, really well. Still, they're just super fun to rip. They're super cheap, or affordable is probably a better way to say that, because the card quality is really nice, so they're just really affordable. But yeah, so those are now gone. I'll have to do a restock on those. And then Ninja Spinner went okay, I would say. So I expected it to go better, because when Nihil, I expected to go slowly when it dropped, because Zygarde isn't super popular. His card is really nice. I do like the SAR a lot. He looks like a Megazord from Power Rangers. And then I do like the Meowth SAR. But there's no like super popular Pokemon that everybody's going to be like chasing down. Yeah, there's a Clefairy and a Clefable, and those are definitely super nice. But again, there's no big like flagship, but that's okay. I like Nihil. I think it's a good set, and I think that Perfect Order, I'm okay with it getting a little bit underhyped, because again, I think it's a good set. It's not S tier like Ascended Heroes and Mega Dream, but it's definitely a solid set. So I'm alright with it being a little bit slower for those ones. Ninja Spinner, I expected to kind of like take off because Greninja, but yeah, a little bit slow. I think, yeah, the hype of Ascended Heroes is so strong, it's been carrying over. So as especially stuff just, you know, is still getting released, like those the poster collection boxes with the 2 promos, Lucario and Gardevoir, and then the packs, that just dropped just this last weekend. So as well as that first partner Series 1 like collection, that just dropped as well. So fortunately, I did not see those. I did see them getting scalped, but I did not see them getting scalped like horribly. There was just a few people that had them. So we managed to get some, and we ripped them all. So we have all 9 of the little promo starters, so that's fun. But yeah, so I expected Ninja Spinner to go better, went a little bit slower. That's all right. So we'll see what happens in the future. So I don't know. Not really sure how to like think about that one right now, other than Pokemon is just, it's so hyped everywhere that I think that when everything's at like volume 10, it's, you know what I mean, you're just gonna, it's hard for people to like decide kind of like what they're gonna get. There's too much good stuff, which is, you know, a good problem to have, I guess, is, you know, you're making too much good stuff. So yeah, I did have another big buy at the show. So a couple just walking in, and it was like their second show ever, and they were looking to just get out some cards. They had a ton of duplicates, and again, if I could afford it, I'd have bought like everything that they had, just tons of Ascended Hero singles. And so I managed to pick up a bunch of stuff from them. So that was good. Helped just restock the case. And we're restocking the case. My goal, this is where, again, my fiscal conservative nature, where when I'm looking through people's stacks of stuff, I want to pull out like the little things, because I am still thinking too little, and it's just being risk averse. I don't want to pick out stuff that is very valuable, because, oh well, what if I can't move it? Now I'm going to sit on this $100, $150 card for how long? So I'm trying to get better at not doing those types of things, and not just getting $5 cards to stick on a binder, going for the $150 cards. So that's been the challenge, and I've been trying to remind myself is to go for these big hits. And so yeah, and I think that based off of the numbers that I have for this last show, that challenge to myself has been like proving out. So at this show we only sold 88 singles, but whereas we typically sell over 100 sometimes. So it's anywhere between, I would say, 110 and 130. That's how many singles we usually sell at a show. But this one we sold 88 singles, but we made the most money on singles that we've ever made. So we sold fewer cards, but this has probably been our top show when it comes to selling singles. So yeah, clearly that adage of every other PokeTuber vendor who says go for higher cards because they're just going to sell more. You may sell fewer cards, but you'll profit higher, or your revenue will be higher. Yep, that's true. Or at least for this one show, this one time, it was true. So yep, that'll just be the challenge moving forward, is continue to go after these big hits. One notable deal that I had to pass on was a guy brought in some Japanese booster boxes and was looking to sell them, and they were 3 vintage ones and then 1 shiny star V. The 3 vintage ones, you'll have to excuse me, I don't remember the names on them because I've literally never heard of them. So obviously we're only like 4 months into vending, and I'm very into the modern stuff. I know the modern a lot better when it comes to especially like the Japanese stuff. But the vintage stuff, if it's not on a price list from one of our suppliers, I don't know what it is. And that was the case here. He had 3 boxes that I've never heard of, and one of them was like a pink Mimikyu box. So it was back in the day when Mimikyu was a fairy type, and they had fairy typings for the cards. So one of them was those. Another one was like a Lugia, was on the front kind of box, and then the other one had Solgaleo on it. So, and he was looking to sell them, and I wanted to buy them so badly. But they're boxes that you don't rip. They're boxes that you definitely sit on. And especially Shiny Star V, I know I definitely wanted. I can still kind of sometimes get that from suppliers, but like, yeah, they're definitely pricey. And then the Mimikyu Fairy box, I definitely wanted that one because like, just really like the ghost types. So yeah, really one of those. But at the time, yeah, I just couldn't afford. And he justifiably wanted 90% of the average of what we could arrive at on like eBay sales. And yeah, I had to pass. I was trying to be responsible. I had just done, I'd done these big, like singles big I can justify because they're going to flip, but these vintage boxes, they're going to go into PC and they're going to sit. So maybe next time. Maybe next time. We'll see. But one thing too is I've noticed, again, I hear a lot. It's people's first or second show that they're attending. They just got back into the hobby. They're my age-ish, and they're like, they got their kids in, now they're in, and everyone's kind of reliving the nostalgia of Pokemon, which is awesome, for sure. And what's super interesting about that is, like, I don't not hear it anymore. Like, it's only been 4 months, but I hear it every single show, several times per show is, oh, it's my first show. Oh, it's our second show. Oh, it's, you know what I mean? It's wild how many new people are being injected into the hobby. Who knows why, right? We can all speculate hype and value and markets and whatever the world's taking a dump, whatever. But it is exciting, and it's, I mean, if anyone was concerned that Pokemon's gonna go somewhere, you know what I mean? I'm just not. Just there's too many new people. Well, how long will these new people stay in? I mean, hard to say, but you know, knowing that their collection has high monetary value, I think is a good motivator to like stay in, at least for the foreseeable future. You know, if there ends up being some kind of bear market in this, like, obviously we'll see an impact, but what that looks like, I mean, who knows? All I know is what's happening right now, and right now is I'm hearing tons of people coming in, and that's just super exciting. So yeah, man, vending is a good time, definitely. And there's also a lot of new vendors too. I mean, we're still new. We're not even a year in, but again, every single show, it's somebody's first or second time vending ever, which is crazy. But I mean, why not? Like, this stuff, you know, people value this stuff and they want it. So, and if you got it and if you love it, like, why not, man? It's a good time. So, moving forward, we got another show coming up, of course, because why not? We're going up to Wisconsin this time. That's where I'm from. So that should be exciting. We'll see how that goes. Just, again, hitting some new cities, new areas, getting new eyeballs on us and what we're doing. So, but in the meantime, if you guys want some Japanese Chinese booster boxes, you can check out our website, monstermothstudio.com. We'll ship them out to you. Appreciate you guys.